how did Denali start? Where did it all begin? My dad didn't, my parents didn't, but it was just something in me was like, I want to own my own company one day. I didn't know how to do it. Like, I had a whole lot to learn. When you're a home builder, water is the enemy. I like to believe we're the best. I like to think we do it right. To be honest, I did not see where we are today.
All right, welcome back. Travis Caraway with Denali Pools, another episode of the Denali Deep Dive Podcast here. Today we're with Jared Glazier. Jared's one of the owners here at Denali. One of the things, Jared, I get asked all the time, right, meeting with clients and people that we build for is, where'd y'all start? How'd you start? How long you been in business? All of those things. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the origins, right, of Denali Pools.
Yeah.
Where'd we come from?
Yeah. No, great question, Trav. I think a lot of customers ask that. I mean, I get that at least every week. How did Denali start? Where did it all begin? So it's good to be able to share that with everybody, right? So yeah, back up, graduated college, was in construction. This is me. So I was the founder of Denali Pools. College, I got my construction management degree with a minor in business. Left college and I knew that I always wanted to own my own company. It was in me. My dad didn't, my parents didn't, but it was just something in me. It was like, I want to own my own company one day.
Okay.
That being said, I was smart enough to know I didn't know how to do it. Like, I had a whole lot to learn. And so in college, I had done door-to-door sales.
Yeah.
And in fact, I did really well at door-to-door sales. And it turns out I was good at it. I enjoyed it. I loved people. I loved selling. I loved just that whole game. Didn't like the grind as much. Door-to-door sales, I was selling home security systems.
Yeah.
Interesting product. But anyway, didn't want to do that for a living for sure. Got my construction management degree, and straight out of college, I hired on with a home builder.
Okay.
So Pulte Homes, and decided I wanted to learn how to build houses, right? And I thought one day maybe I'll have my own home building company. So I hired on with Pulte Homes. I was there for years. I started at the bottom, assistant superintendent, worked my way up superintendent, project manager, area manager, and then I was stuck. The VP of construction was the next promotion.
Yeah.
But my VP had been in Austin, Texas for 25 years, and he wasn't going anywhere. So I knew I wasn't going to get promoted. I knew I was kind of where I was at. And I also felt that the time was right to start my own home building company. So I quit. I don't want to say the years. Maybe I should. But anyway, I quit Pulte Homes, started my own home building company, and started building my own houses. So now I knew how to sell things. I knew how to build a house, but there was still a lot I didn't know.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know marketing. I didn't know land acquisition. I didn't know a lot of things. But I learned through doing it, right? You get thrown into the fire, and that's how I learned. So fast forward, I think it was 2011, I was building a house, and I had a customer say, Jared, why don't you build our swimming pool for us?
Because I've never built one.
Because I've never built one. And not only that, like, when you're a home builder, water is the enemy. Like, houses flood.
Right.
Leaks in pipes cause mold. Like, you don't want water in a house. And that was ingrained in me. Like, I don't like water when I'm building. And so anyway, the customer said, we love your quality. We love how you built our house. Won't you build our pool for us? And at that time I was like, all right, maybe this could be a good thing. I did some research and so I told him, I'll tell you what, if you'll be my guinea pig, if you'll give me a set $500, I will build your pool for you.
So at that time, you were building custom homes, right?
Right.
So what do you think the percentage of homes that you built were most of those people getting pools built after you were done and
Yeah.
they were moving in?
Yeah, I'll bet 75% got pools.
Yeah.
Whether it was, within 6 months or the next year, within 2 years. I'd say within 2-3 years, 75% of them got swimming pools.
Yeah.
So $500, and that's what we made on the first pool.
Big money.
And it went great. It went just exactly how I thought it would. You learn a few little nuances here and there that are different than home building, but I think it went great. And so fast forward, the next year it happened again. I had another client say, "Hey, won't you build our pool for us?" And I did it, and that's when we opened the company.
So not having had, built pools before, you built plenty of homes, concrete, and, all the other pretty much the same construction materials, right? But absolutely different, product.
Yep.
So when you started building these swimming pools, not having done it before, where were you finding your guys? How were you finding the people that had the expertise to come in and knew how to build a swimming pool, right? The guy that stacks the rock on the house is not the same guy that cuts this coping.
That's right.
How'd you find your guys and the expertise to start these things?
That is a great question that I think most people have no idea, right? They think they just Google and you find a concrete man that does pool decks, or you just Google and you find a plaster company. In the swimming pool world, that is not the case, right? It's hard you can't go on Google, or you can't just call, look in the phone book and find somebody. It's a lot of networking is how I would say, right? So if you find a good stonemason that can do the coping, turns out he knows somebody that he's worked with that does the plaster, right? And so you try and find 3 of those plaster guys, and you call them, you interview them, you vet them. You check out their work, and then you pick one and you go with it. And then basically you have to trial and error. You got to try someone and they do good, and you keep them, and they do good work. They communicate well. There's no problems. There's no warranty. They become one of your vendors. And so in the beginning, there was a lot of going through vendors, right? We try out a concrete guy, and he was terrible. Guess what? He was not on the next pool. We try out a plumber. He was terrible. He was not on the next pool. But I'm happy to say we found good vendors. And I would say for over 10 years now, we've used many of the same vendors.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty rare that we replace a vendor for any particular reason.
Cool. So that's how it started, right? So that was you starting the company. You yourself were building for people that you were already building for. When did it move outside of that, right? Like you started building swimming pools for people that you weren't building houses for.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah, so it was back in 2012 is when we officially opened shop. We officially were, Denali Pools. It actually wasn't called Denali Pools, but I'm going to tell you more about that in another episode.
Okay.
We had a different name on day one, and it was 6 months later that we became Denali Pools.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But that's 2012. We opened shop. We sold pools. We built pools. We were focused on pools. And I had my custom home building company going on the side. So I had 2 different companies going starting 2012.
Knew you wanted to have your own company, and then before you knew it, you had 2.
2, yeah. Wasn't even looking for that pool company. It just kind of happened.
Okay. And then it's grown into what? So in the beginning, it was you. I'm sure you had like a contract admin. Were you selling stuff, designing stuff, or did you have people that you brought on to do that, and when?
Yeah. Sales-wise, day one, I was the salesman, and I had nothing, right? I didn't have anything that Denali has today, or really. I just had to learn it all, right?
Yeah.
So I was doing my best to create a website. I was doing my best to create paper brochures. I was doing my best to take pictures of our first swimming pools. We did not have pool studios or structure studios that we do today to show the 3D rendering, up on the TV. So it's come a long way in all these years.
Yeah, that's cool. And from then, probably a whopping 3 people working in the business, 5 people working in the business, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so how I did it, in the beginning, again, interesting. I was selling, and then my superintendent that was building my houses, I asked him to help me build the pool.
Okay.
So he was kind of doing double duty.
Yeah.
As was I doing double duty, and it was basically two of us on the pools day one.
Okay.
Quickly, within the first year, I hired another superintendent, and I think it was also year one or year two, we hired another sales guy. And so an official sales guy and superintendent dedicated strictly to the pool company. And then meanwhile, I was also able to keep building the houses on the side.
Very cool. Still building homes?
Not anymore. No, we ramped down, and it was back in 2019, 2020. I decided to ramp down, slow down, close down the home building company and throw all of my personal effort behind Denali Pools. And it's haven't regretted it for a second.
Yep.
It's been great.
So day one, 2011?
2012.
2012. Fast forward to 2025, right? 13 years later.
Yep.
You've got three people.
When the video is being shot.
Yeah. You got 3 people working in the company.
Mm-hmm.
As far as pools go, within the first year, you're probably 5 people working in the company. To now, just on the design side, we've got fantastic people, but how many people we have working out of this office in Cedar Park?
Well, and again, whenever you watch this video, that number is going to change.
Right.
But it is fun to think about. I think we have close to 50 employees now.
Yeah.
So to go from 5 to 50,
That's pretty cool.
and I'm sure it's only going to grow.
Yeah.
Over the next decade.
Yeah. So then the next thing becomes like, here's the origins, it's where you came from, it's where we are today. Like, what do you see? Like, what do you want to do? Where do you want the company to go? And
yeah, I get that question all the time too, and it's interesting. I was asked through the years, kind of what did I see, and to be honest, I did not see where we are today.
Yeah.
Being a local, family-owned company in Central Texas, continuing to grow. But we're dominating, right? We're out there. I like to believe we're the best. I like to think we do it right. But I do think we will continue to grow. We will expand throughout Texas, and then, perhaps to other states as well.
yeah,
So the future is bright for Denali.
it's a good ride, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing the story. That's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. Great to be able to share it. I hope, again, fun to share it, and appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah,